All right. Cold water fishing. Now, I'm not talking about you know, when people think of cold water fishing, they talk about, oh, the water's, you know, that 52, 53, and everybody wants to, you know, throw a wiggle wart on channel swings and a shad wrap and throw a jerkbait. I'm talking about like right now. I try to make myself fish at least 3 days a week right now, regardless. I don't care how cold it is. And if you guys will listen to me on this deal, I promise you, you'll win nearly every winter tournament you fish right now. I mean, I know that there's guys that have won more money than me and had better careers and all that. I've got some mental issues and things like that. But the deal is, when I fish in the winter, I feel like I'm going to win nearly every time. The classics that I have fished that we've been, I'm not talking about when we go to Florida. I'm talking about on these reservoirs. Like the last winter tournament I fished in 40-degree water was at Lay Lake. I finished second to some guy named Van Dam. He's pretty good. And then the classic that I fished before that was on Lake Hartwell, and the water was 39 to 40. I finished sixth. I should have won that one. So listen to what I'm telling you here. It's fishing in the winter right now. It's a mindset more than it is technique and all that. So I'm going to tell you what everybody does, because we're all guilty of it. We've all been hunting, right? Everybody been hunting? Is that what you've been doing now? And then now the hunting season's over. You're starting to get that fishing in your mind. I want to go fishing, right? So you look out there and you're like, man, you call your buddy. And it's gonna be 58 degrees, sunny. Let's go to 10 Killer. Let's go to Grand or whatever. And you're all amped up, but that water's still cold. So you run out there and you're all excited, and you almost even get to short sleeves that day, but you fish all day long and you get done and you're like, man, the fishing sucks. I never had a bite. And I'll tell you why, because you fish too fast. So when I fish this time of year, whether it be in a Bassmaster Classic, and I've got a tournament coming up here in next week on Lake Martin. It's been cold. I've been looking at the temperatures. So when I go into that, my mindset is not, man, I'm going to catch 15 keepers. I'm going to catch this, that. My mindset is, I'm fishing for a bite. First thing, I'm going to fish for a bite. After I get that first bite, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fish for another bite. And you will beat, I'm just telling you, even on the elites, if you go in with that mindset, when you fish these first couple tournaments of the year, you got 90% of those guys beaten. Okay? This time of year is very important to know that a bass doesn't have to feed much, right? You're going to get a window or two, and that's it. In an 8-hour day, those fish, you may not be able to catch one for 3 or 4 hours. But when they'll bite, you're going to have a little flurry. You're going to get 2 or 3 bites. So it's important to be really focused. Your bites are light. And it just, I'm telling you, you can make enough money in the wintertime to pay for the rest of your year if you'll focus on slowing down and all that. The other thing I want to talk about real quick before we get into baits and stuff is okay, you know, when the fishing's good, what do you do? Let's say, I really not even supposed to talk about Grand, it's so goofy. Let's say you're on, what's the lake y'all fish a lot around here? 10 Killer. Okay, 10 Killer. So you run a 10 Killer. You know the lake, right? You know the lake. You've caught 1,000 bass on there. So you unload your boat and you got that 60 degrees outside. Now the water temperature's still 39, but you're still thinking, man, I'm gonna bust them up today. So you run over here. Man, you know the side of this dock's always got one. You make 2 or 3 throws, they're not there. So, man, now you run to the other spot. And then you run to the other spot. These fish this time of year get really specific on where they set up, and they don't have to bite. So what I'll do, okay, I'll give you an example. The other day I went to Texoma. Everybody fished Texoma some? And the water was really cold. It was 41, and it was cold outside too. And I was fishing with a buddy of mine. And right now, he knows the lake way better than I do. I mean, I don't get to fish the lake. And man, he's like, we're going to wreck them. And in my mind, I'm thinking, boy, I hope he proves me wrong, because I think we're going to get 5 or 6 bites is all we're going to get today. And man, he got to running around. And we were running. And the only thing he caught a Ambassador 5500C combo on a jigging spoon. That's what you think I'm lying? I got a picture of it. I promise you. That was the big excitement of the morning. And finally, I said, you know what? I said, all right, we've done your deal. I said, we've got 5 hours left of daylight. I said, we're going to do it my way. And he's like, well, what do you want to do?
Welcome to Bass University TV. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.